Welcome to the Scott Howard Genuine ScLoHo Media and Marketing Podcast. This is an ongoing collection of media, marketing, and personal insights, and this is episode number 432 with the title, Nobody Wants to Buy a Roof. That was what the roofing sales guy said to me shortly after we met. Nobody wants to buy a roof. And you know what? He was speaking the truth. But I bought one that day anyway. One of the joys of home ownership is that you don't have to ask the landlord for permission to do stuff. You may need to talk and ask your spouse, but that's a different story. So my wife and I have lived in our house for 12 years, and the past couple of years we've had roofing salespeople stop at our house uninvited and want to quote us a price for replacing our roof. I've either ignored them or told them I already have a guy. The truth is, I didn't have a guy. But since 2020, when I became the sales manager of WOWO Radio, and I met with the owners of several roofing companies, so I've had several guys that I could call on to take care of my roof. However, I didn't contact any of them until the spring, because I had insider knowledge from seeing the behind-the-scenes stuff that goes on at these roofing companies that I've met with when I was the station sales manager. I had insight into their motivations, their pricing methods, their sales styles, workmanship, etc. Some of those roofers, I definitely would not trust to do work at my house. Their ethics, attitudes towards homeowners turned me off completely. Fortunately, none of those companies advertise with us anymore. Now, some of the roofers I felt neutral about. There was nothing negative, but there was also nothing outstandingly positive either that I heard in their advertising messages. There was one company that I worked with briefly when I returned to sales in 2024, but they were too new and my gut didn't trust them. They came off as wishy-washy when I dealt with the owners about their advertising, so they were off my list too. Because I wasn't aware of any immediate need, and I really didn't dig in to decide which roofer I would use. I'm not sure why my house was being targeted by these roofing salespeople these last few years. Was it something that they could see from the street? I know that some of the shingles closer to the gutters were darker than those at the peak, but I didn't see any damage. Was it the age of our house? It turned 50 this year. But I know that it's had the roof replaced by someone in the past few decades before we bought it. And like I said, nobody wants to buy a roof. However, in March this year, we had a few rounds of heavy storms come through. I noticed a loose shingle in my driveway, and one day I picked it up and started my personal interest in roofers. About 10 days later, another storm came through, and my wife found 3 shingles in the backyard and told me about them. And I confessed to her that I had found one too. Then I went through what every homeowner goes through, the battle in your brain of what to do. So many questions like, do I really need a new roof, or do I just need someone to reattach those loose shingles? Is it possible to do a repair instead of replace? And how do I pick the right company? Is the salesperson honest? Do they know what they're talking about regarding my roof, or are they just a salesperson who is just trying to close a deal and make his commission? How's the quality of their work? How about the process and cleanup? Will they complete the job in one day or leave us with a half-finished job in the middle of a downpour? The price quote, is it an estimate or a real quote? Is the price a lowball offer that will be jacked up after they've torn off my roof? These are all the thoughts that we as homeowners go through in times like these because, like I said before, nobody wants to buy a roof. Now, a couple of questions for you as a business owner or a marketer. Number 1, is the stuff you sell something that people want to buy or they have to buy? Number 2, besides you and your company, where else can your potential customers buy to take care of their need or desire? And number 3, why buy from you? That last question is what is going to set you apart from the other buying choices that people have. And if you don't have a solid answer that isn't identical to your competition, you have to figure this out. If you want my help on this, just let me know. And I'll follow up once we get our roof replaced as to what the experience was like. Questions, answers, thoughts of nearly any kind are welcome. You can find me online at my website at scotthoward.me. And on social media, just Google ScLoHo. That's spelled ScLoHo, and you'll probably find more of me. You can drop me a note via email too at scott@wowo.com. And there's a rough transcription of this podcast online at my website at scotthoward.me. If you'd like to go back and read it again, or check out the links I mentioned, you'll find them there, scotthoward.me.
Podcasts by Federated Media.